On a misty mountain in East Asia stood a small monastery called Zen Vale Monastery. There, an old Zen master lived with a few disciples, spending their days in meditation and mindfulness practice. Life was calm and silent, only the wind through the bamboo and the sound of temple bells at dawn. Among the disciples was a young man named Ethan, who had just begun his journey of spiritual awakening. Ethan was sincere and eager to learn, yet his heart was still unsettled. Every morning he would walk down to the nearby village to collect alms. One morning, when he knocked on a small wooden door, he met a woman named Aiko. She had just finished bathing, her dark wet hair clinging gently to her soft face, glowing in the morning light. Ethan had never seen such pure beauty before. His heart stirred. Aiko smiled kindly, went inside, and brought food to offer with great respect. Ethan thanked her and returned to the monastery, but her image lingered in his mind all day. That night he couldn't sleep, his thoughts were restless. The next morning, although monks were taught to visit different houses every day, Ethan went back to Aiko's home. She greeted him again with her warm smile and offered him a simple but heartfelt meal. Day after day, he repeated this. Then, one morning, Ethan arrived earlier than usual. Aiko opened the door and said, "Venerable sir, I only give food after I have taken my bath. Today you have come too early. Please wait while I go to the stream and return." Ethan nodded, but curiosity rose in him, and as she walked away, he quietly followed her. The woman reached the stream, surrounded by bamboo. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, dancing on the water. Ethan hid behind a tree and watched her. A wave of guilt flickered in his mind, but desire quickly overpowered it. He kept watching, captivated, letting his thoughts drift deeper. When she finished and returned home, Ethan rushed ahead to act as though he had been waiting. From that day onward, the act became a routine. Every morning, Ethan secretly followed Aiko, then returned for alms as if nothing had happened. His mind grew clouded, his focus lost. He stopped engaging with others and became distant, lost in thoughts. The Zen master, Master Saito, noticed the change. One morning he asked gently, "Ethan, what troubles your mind?" Ethan replied softly, "Nothing, Master. I'm just a bit tired." The next day, Master Saito followed him quietly and saw everything. The young monk hiding behind a tree, watching the woman at the stream. The master approached silently and placed a firm but gentle hand on Ethan's shoulder. The young man froze, terrified, his face pale. He tried to speak, but no words came out. The master said nothing. He simply took Ethan's hand and led him deep into the forest. After a long walk, they reached an old, muddy pond. Master Saito said, "Can you cross this pond and come back?" Ethan hesitated, then nodded, starting to remove his robe. The master asked, "Why are you removing it?" Ethan replied, "Master, the water is dirty. My robe will get soiled." The master smiled. "You fear staining your robe, something that can be easily washed, yet you allowed your priceless mind to be stained so carelessly." He pointed at the muddy water. "Desire is like this mud. Once you step in, it clings to you. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. But if you stay still and observe, you'll realize the mud only dirties you when your mind fears it. Desire is not your enemy. It is the energy of life itself. If you see it with wisdom, you can transform it into compassion, creativity, and strength." Ethan bowed his head, tears streaming down. "I have lost my way," he whispered. Master Saito placed his hand on his shoulder. Falling is not failure, my son. Staying fallen is. Rise again, purify your mind, and learn to understand yourself. From that day on, Ethan began to meditate earnestly. He stopped going down the mountain and spent his days observing his thoughts, breathing with awareness, and finding stillness within. Years later, he became known as Master KL, a wise teacher loved for his compassion and insight. He often told his disciples, "Victory over others is temporary, but victory over yourself is eternal." In today's world, many people, especially the young, are overwhelmed by images and messages that stimulate desire. They try to resist, but the harder they fight, the more restless their minds become. The truth is, desire itself is not the problem. It's how we deal with it. If we stop feeding our minds with provocative images and fantasies, our thoughts begin to settle. When we redirect that same energy into creativity, kindness, learning, or service, it transforms into a powerful force for growth. Meditation is the bridge between instinct and wisdom. It purifies the mind, clears deep impressions, and restores peace. Let your mind be like a still lake, neither fearing desire nor being ruled by it. When the mind is clear, desire becomes light, and that light reveals your truest self, free, pure, and strong.